Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera.
Waalaikumsalam.
Kita baru ada dalam 13 orang. Saya rasa sepatutnya dalam 20 orang juga. Lebih daripada 20 orang dalam kumpulan ini. Miss Ellie, Ellie? Okay. Alright. Okay. We are now at, I think I'll just start, yeah. We are now at the World Cafe session where as a group, we will be looking at or addressing the various, what do you call, issues. There are basically 4 points here. If you manage to take a look at, hold on. I'm trying to look at my stuff also. Okay, if we are able to see, there are five bidang tumpuan that we are going to be discussing, and this includes kepimpinan, kesihatan mental, libatsama komuniti dan industri, mobiliti dan kerjasama antarabangsa, literasi dan kewarganegaraan digital. And in terms of the aspects that we'll be looking at, how is keadaan masa depan yang dikehendaki, meaning what is it that we would like to achieve, yeah, and what is the current state. So on top of that, we need to identify the various issues which is withholding us from achieving the ideal state, and what would be the action plan, yeah. So let's see. So for the first part, we will be focusing on kepimpinan lah, aspect of kepimpinan, talking about women and the issues of leadership that women are encountering at this point in time. So perhaps I shall open the floor to what exactly you all of you think when it comes to what do you call the ideal state that we would like to achieve. And perhaps in the process of the discussion, we can also at the same time introduce ourselves and where we're from. Anyone to start? Or shall I call names?
Assalamualaikum and good morning. So Dr. Nabila, I'm Marni here. So can discuss all those the bidang tumpuan tu ke? Or kita ambil, kita pick one of the bidang tumpuan? Macam mana?
Saya difahamkan kita ni kena melihat kepada kelima-lima bidang tumpuan, tetapi kita diberi masa dalam lingkungan 25 hingga 30 minit untuk setiap bidang tumpuan. Mungkin Rapporteur boleh maklumkan jika ada kesilapan dari segi pemahaman saya ini? Oh yes, please. I think we can unmute. Otherwise, macam mana nak discuss kan?
Okey, Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi. Dan, mungkin saya nak tambah, saya ada idea sikit. Tadi kan doktor yang cakap tadi tu, doktor yang tudung merah tu apa, lupa nama dia.
Tudung merah. Ya.
Dia cakap tentang kalau wanita ni banyak dalam pos akademik dan sebagainya, tapi dalam kepimpinan tu agak kurang. Kalau dari universiti awam dan sebagainya baru 30%. So kita nak naikkan lagi peratusan ni lah. Dr. Zaini tak silap saya. Saya
Ya,
lupa.
Datuk Profesor Dr. Zaini.
Ya.
Jadi kita ingin menambah ataupun meningkatkan semula tadi yang dikatakan sebenarnya macam Prof. Datuk Asma kongsikan tadi kan, kita sebenarnya pada satu ketika bilangan itu telah meningkat, tetapi terkini bilangan itu kembali turun dari segi peratusannya. Jadi one of the desired state is to have more women leaders, ya.
Kemungkinan kot, saya rasa, Rahimi, saya rasa lah kemungkinan kita nak kena statekan lah exactly kita nak mencapai lebih daripada 30% kepimpinan wanita dalam bidang akademik. Currently, kita dah kurang. Compared to 2017, Datuk Asma dah mention, kita 35%. Nowadays, less than that. Jadi at least kita punya falsafah gender ini nak mencapai 30% kepimpinan wanita dalam bidang akademik itu. Saya rasa lah.
Baik, terima kasih Dr. Rahimi. Lama tak berjumpa kita.
Baik, Nabila.
Saya dengan Dr. Rahimi ni zaman-zaman buat PhD sama-sama sebenarnya.
Kawan lama.
Kawan lama. Tu bila tengok nama.
Dr. Nabila, saya Chiu from University Science Malaysia lah. Saya just nak komen setengah benda yang saya observe dari universiti saya dan juga daripada rakan-rakan saya daripada universiti lain lah. Salah satu benda kita sebagai wanita ni terutamanya wanita yang baru bekerja, yang masih muda, yang baru balik kan. So masalah yang kita hadapi kadang-kadang ni kita tak ada confidence untuk bercakap. And kadang-kadang kalau kita bercakap satu benda yang terlalu lantang atau terlalu direct, orang tak suka. Especially orang Malaysia lah saya rasa lah. Sebab most of us, women yang baru masuk pun ramai daripada yang educated overseas. So kalau yang belajar overseas, kadang-kadang they are taught, they are nurtured to speak out and also to voice their opinions. So salah satu benda sebagai wanita yang saya perasan, bukan saja untuk rakan-rakan saya tapi kepada saya juga, is kadang-kadang sekiranya kita bersuara atau kita menyatakan pendapat kita, kita akan dilabel sebagai strong character. And kita selalu kena sort of like ikut je apa yang diberikan atau diarahkan untuk buat. So one more thing is saya perasan is one yang saya perasan is that bila kita buat macam tu, indirectly as you grow in your career, you dah ada satu, dari awal pun memang kita dah shut off. Kita pun malas dah nak bersuara, malas pun nak contribute, malas nak bagi tahu apa-apa sebab we know that sometimes our voice are not heard. And that is why I think kadang-kadang wanita bila dia dah achieve satu level, maybe after like 40s or 50s, dia pun dah malas nak pegang jawatan tinggi. Because at the start itself also you are not being like properly trained or being properly given the opportunity to voice your opinions, and also sometimes the opinions are quite true. And benda ni saya perasan, especially the good part is bila Datuk Asma was the VC, I personally ada experience with her. And bila, if let's say we were in a seminar or if let's say we are in any situations, instead of dia yang present, she will nurture you untuk present. So satu karakter yang saya tengok sebagai seorang leader, bila kita ada women leader will tend to nurture. And that is saya perasan sebagai as a researcher, bila in any situations dia tak akan buatkan tu kita, tapi dia akan train kita untuk present and also to voice out our own ideas and our own opinions. Itu satu benda yang saya rasa a bit lacking in the system. Saya bukan nak kata men leaders are not good, but in this sense saya rasa women leaders should be there in terms of nurturing the young as well. Sebab kita punya karakteristik as a woman has that quality of nurture.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. B, ya?
Dr. Chiu.
Dr. Chiu.
Ya.
Okay, Dr. Chiu.
Thank you.
So basically, what you're saying is we have the context or the culture at workplace is where we are conditioned to be quite passive, if I can say, where we are not encouraged perhaps to be highlighting or pointing out our opinions, and on the management side, perhaps it depends on the situation also, isn't it? Because some will say that they actually give opportunity, but it doesn't look that way. Yeah, that's the point that you are trying, right? To highlight, Dr. Chiu.
Yes. There is a difference daripada aspek yang I observe is that bila saya di bawah really good women leaders like Dato' Asma and also a few more yang saya perasan, they nurture you tau. Even though you make mistakes, dia tegur. Tapi tegur yang cara yang sangat positif, yang memang make you don't doubt your capabilities. Itu satu benda yang saya sangat syukur lah, the fact that she did that. And from there, it made me realize that women should empower women as well. But when there are certain circumstances, bila as a woman, I rasa it's a budaya culture of working in Malaysia where most of the time orang yang lebih muda tidak patut ikut sahaja dan tak patut bersuara. Kalau bersuara banyak, nanti orang kata, oh you banyak sembunyi lah, banyak cakap lah, banyak apa.
Jadi maksudnya di sini jika kita nak highlight plan tindakan dia untuk mengatasi masalah ini, apa yang doktor cadangkan? Ada pelan komunikasi yang lebih terbuka dari segi penerimaan.
Saya rasa macam keterbukaan of leaders lah on top there, especially men leaders. Sorry to say lah, I rasa ada men kat sini kalau terasa, sorry lah. But keterbukaan untuk terima pendapat wanita, especially young ladies.
Terutama yang lebih muda.
Yes, sebab ramai daripada kita, ramai yang balik bekerja, ramai wanita. And you don't see these ladies being nurtured and also being encouraged to go higher up until jadi leaders. Sebab at the bottom level pun sometimes at a certain level kita pun rasa malas kita nak bersuara, nak bagi our good ideas, our opinions on things. Sebab nanti akan just shake it off atau forgotten, things like that.
Do you think it's a good idea to have some sort of mentor-mentee kind of system, Doctor?
Yes, tapi mentor-mentee for me, if let's say if it's a women mentor-mentee level, is also quite nice because sometimes you put leaders or mentor yang memang very masculine punya karakter, dia akan mentee bagi tahu mentee dia, ikut je apa yang saya buat, ikut je. So you cannot voice out your opinion, you cannot raise up new ideas in a situation.
Okay, all right, thank you. Who else?
I'm Marni, Dr. Nabila. So I think it's good macam yang Dr. Chu cakap tadi, mentorship. So I rasa lah we can suggest to current women leader to open mentorship program lah, macam Dato' Asma, dia open and then dia try guide lah untuk a few young ladies or young lecturers dekat akademik ni kan, academician ni, untuk berikan mentorship to be leader lah one day, macam tu.
Marni, in your where are you from?
Universiti Malaysia Perlis, UNIMAP.
UNIMAP ramai tak wanita yang boleh dijadikan mentor yang seperti mana yang you nak cadangkan ni?
From my view memang ada lah, memang ada yang boleh kita tonjolkan lah, yang memang kita boleh naikkan. But then in term of opportunity tu macam tak ada. It seems like I mean BC, TNC they lebih suka appoint among their friends, you know. Kan senang kata. Macam
dia kiranya benda tu is a very systemic punya condition, but perhaps kita boleh cadangkan a more structured dari segi pemilihan mentor. Maksudnya institusi-institusi boleh laksanakan secara dalaman. Dan kita boleh juga kawinkan dengan it can be an intra kind of mentorship which allows networking also.
Yes, macam
probably.
Dia boleh pilih mentee di kalangan mana-mana universiti, open lah. I mean, not necessarily macam daripada Universiti Malaysia Perlis, leadership daripada UNIMAP ambil yang researcher or yang lecturers daripada UNIMAP. Not necessarily. Kira macam open lah kan.
I totally agree with that in terms of the mentorship daripada wanita yang memang dah berjaya in all the various universities dekat Malaysia, that there's a program untuk these young lecturers, especially wanita, not only young lah, mungkin lecturers wanita lain juga, untuk datang berkongsi pengalaman dan mungkin mendapatkan sedikit pendapat atau aspek macam mana nak handle certain situations sekiranya berlaku. Sebab some of us don't really know how to tackle a certain situation bila all of the main stakeholders and also the leaders yang ada dekat dalam team is all men. So sometimes when we want to voice out certain things, kita ragu-ragu dengan kita punya kebolehan. That's the only thing.
Okay. Thank you. Ada lagi yang nak utarakan keadaan masa depan yang kita inginkan?
Hello. Okay,
Yes.
Nabila.
Yes, Dr. Hong.
Yes, I'm Lim from IPPTM USM.
Oh, okay.
So sorry walaupun saya lelaki tapi saya tercadangkan sebab saya memandangkan adakan satu, sebab saya tengok kerja untuk leader women di Malaysia terutamanya ada masalah kekurangan support system. So mentor-mentee memang satu sistem yang bagus. Why not kita bangunkan satu sistem untuk mengenal pastikan future leaders for women, dan kita yang kita matchkan dia dengan sistem mentor and mentee untuk developkan mereka dan supaya mereka ada peluang yang lebih cerah dapat ditonjolkan mereka ke kacamata leader-leader yang sedia adalah supaya mereka berpotensi untuk mengembangkan diri ke peringkat yang lebih tinggi.
So maksudnya kita mengadakan macam talent pool, a national level talent pool?
Yes, national level dan bukan di universiti ya, supaya satu kita boleh memastikan wanita-wanita kepimpinan wanita mereka mempunyai prospek nasional. Jika boleh, kalau boleh kita matchkan dia dengan international lagi bagus supaya career untuk female leaders dia boleh berkembang ke international level dan bukan hak sahaja di national level sahaja.
Okay, that's a good idea, Dr. Lim. So having so meaning to say what we have been saying is to have things more structured lah, whether it's a mentor-mentee system or to have a proper systematic talent pool being registered at national level to be matched within our national scenario as well as internationally.
Saya rasa mungkin nak tambah Dr. Nabila, kita boleh
Ya,
mungkin
teruskan.
highlightkan juga peranan yang dimainkan oleh AKEP, di mana AKEP adalah institusi kepimpinan dalam kita punya negara. So might as well ini merupakan satu agenda AKEP untuk memartabatkan kepimpinan wanita dalam bidang akademik ini. Jadi mereka dah ada pool kan, jadi kita cuma nak matchkan dalam setiap 20 UA ini bagaimana di-matchkan dengan mentor-mentor yang sedia ada di Malaysia dapat bimbing di menti ini, saya rasa. Itu meningkatkan potensi lah kita ada structural program begitu.
I think Dr. Nabila, saya nak tambah sikit ya, better yang match punya kita biarkan kepimpinan wanita leader yang terutamanya secara muda mereka yang memilih sebab mereka lebih memahami apa yang mereka mahu berbanding dengan kita mergekan dia di bawah sistem. Kalau silap merge nanti tak jadi pula jadi masalah. So kita biarkan mereka, kita kalau boleh kita list lah, kita wujudkan satu data pool supaya yang kepimpinan wanita ini, yang bakal-bakal pemimpin wanita ini mereka pilih mereka mau mentor mana satu supaya mereka lebih yakin dan lebih dekat dengan mereka lah. Sebab kalau saya fikir kalau kita merge, orang cakap 1 tambah 1 is not equal to 2. Kadang-kadang boleh lebih daripada 3, kadang-kadang less than 1. Jika kita silap match mereka, cita-cita hasrat kita tidak tercapai sebab kita galakkan kerjasama antara mentor-mentee untuk turunkan satu experience, second is the development.
Okay, agreed. Okay, ada lagi yang ingin menambah apa yang telah diutarakan oleh Dr. Lim ini?
Okay, Dr. Nabila. I'm Dr. Sia here.
Yes, Dr. Sia.
Saya datang dari pihak private ya, the swasta. I mean the private university from University Tunku Abdul Rahman.
Okay.
I'm just looking at my own. I'm just going on my own sharing basis. I think maybe there is an action plan maybe in terms of senior management to must be able to buy into this seriously lah. It's not at just an awareness level that the senior management will actually take in to look at this in terms of the objective being achieved. I'm a dean in the business school in Utah. So from my own experience, I think at my level, I should also practice it and motivate it. And actually, of course, we would like to groom the lady staff and actually in mentoring. So the motivation really starts also, I think, because you're talking about leadership. So we always watch out for those potential ones. We always invite them in. But again, of course, it's the sustainability of them. Like just now, all the various speakers talk about, the lives, their balanced life. So again, if we are able to match this and also to link it up with the senior management policy, it will be much better lah. I mean, that is my own sharing. I think as a dean in my department, I have definitely got in a few leaders from the women, but I have to be, I think we are very objective. If they are willing to come in, we are more than happy to guide, but it's just that saying that you can do this, you can do that, but you do not know them personally and able to motivate them, that is the greatest challenge now. Again, time is never enough. So I think as the leader in whichever area we are in, we will be able to see it is again like able to reflect back and guide lah. That's all. Thank you very much. But I think senior management has to buy in.
Dr. Sia, meaning to say the current state, how do you phrase this? Maybe can help Eddie here.
Maybe under your action plan, you look at able to what you call that? We're talking about senior management. We're talking about senior management seriousness in achieving this target lah. Because we are all just buying in this sustainable gender thing, but they really have to put it as part of their KPI, for among the senior management to ensure that these are women and the leadership in the education.
So senior management here, we are talking about the VCs and the DVCs and making sure that within their offices, they have at least the quota, some sort of quota to balance out women and men. That's the idea.
Yeah, it's just like your corporate body, the directors, nowadays you're looking at all this, make sure the directors, they're from from the public sector rather than among the companies. So we are going towards that governance,
All right. Okay, to strengthen or to have a policy when it comes to pengagihan peratusan kedudukan wanita lah kiranya.
Yes, boleh. Macam tu boleh.
Boleh.
I think we want to lah. All of us want to. I think it's just that getting the right people is also another challenge. The matching is also another challenge.
Yeah, so actually the keadaan semasa I can't remember who highlighted just now. But I think both Prof Datuk Zaini and Datuk Asma mentioned this willingness of women in general to be leaders is also still remains an issue because of the roles that we play, we have to juggle.
Yeah, multiple roles, yeah.
Multiple roles. That life work balance is a reality lah. I think when it comes to COVID now, even without COVID is difficult. I think going through COVID is even even more challenging, I would say.
Dr. Nabila, I totally agree with Dr. Sia lah. The thing is also, I guess, this is also something I would like to share and also my opinion. I feel that we women, we can do a lot of things and we are very capable of multitasking. That's one thing. I guess this mentor-mentee program is mainly a lot of it deals with emotional support, because I guess some of us do not get the emotional support. For example, if we go to we face something at work, we need somebody to talk to, we need somebody to share with us and also to listen, and then maybe share ideas or things like that. So that sort of mentorship is important, rather than a mentorship that is like giving all the KPIs to fulfill, or maybe trying to a mentorship that is more supportive, not only in terms of its career, but also in terms of the mental and also the emotional support, especially from a woman. Because if we were to speak this out to a man, which is a mentor, he would not understand the challenges that we face. So these are very important aspects that the mentorship program should tackle.
Okay, Ellie, I think the part where support and whatnot, probably we can go to the next what do you call tajuk kot, the next section, which is kesihatan mental. I think we as we are discussing, maybe I know we are focusing on leadership, but we are also crossing some other areas here, right? Jadi keadaan semasa di sini, what you are highlighting, Dr. Chu, is there is very little support, betul? When it comes to expressing our
difficulties and challenges that we face at work, juggling the various things that we are supposed to do. But I rasa kita women, we are very good in multitasking and we can do it. It's just sometimes we need that push, we need that motivation, and that people cheer for us, people are happy for us, and that makes a big difference whether we can do it or we can't.
Okey, doktor, saya nak tambah sikit untuk kesihatan mental dan fizikal. Kalau kita tengok pengetua sekolah, kebanyakan pengetua sekolah pun terdiri daripada wanita, guru besar dan sebagainya. Dan bila kata-kata tentang mental ni, kita tahu wanita ni dia selalu ada masalah-masalah, depression, anxiety, kadang-kadang perceraian rumah tangga dan masalah rumah tangga dan sebagainya. Kadang-kadang itu boleh jadi kekangan, tapi once bila dia dah bangun, dia boleh perform dengan lebih jauh. Bila dia diberi peluang, dia diberi kepercayaan dengan orang, support orang sekeliling dia, dia boleh membangun sebuah institusi pun. Maksud saya macam tu.
Jadi dia punya ideal state yang kita nak di sini ialah we're talking about kesihatan mental, ialah kesihatan mental yang sihat, yang macam mana, yang The ideal state.
Macam mana nak cakap?
Macam mana nak cakap? Kita kena bantu juga repertoire kita.
Kita nak supaya dia orang ni ada kesejahteraan psikologi dan fizikal macam tu lah, social and physical kesejahteraan tu lah, dia wellness, well-being macam tu.
Well-being ke? Wellness.
Kita nak counselor
Kesejahteraan psikologi. Yalah, that's why dia kata kesejahteraan psikologi dan bukanlah psikologi sahaja, kita nak psychologically and physically, physiologically semua tu
Psychosociology kot.
Psychosocial.
Kesihatan
psychosocial lah,
psychosocial.
psychosocial.
Yang
Kesejahteraan psychosocial.
Jadi kalau inilah senario dia, apa rasanya plan tindakan dia, Dr. Rahimi?
Kita kena ada satu medium support system yang bagus di semua institusi, di mana especially kalau USM dululah ya, kalau masa Datuk Asma dia make sure dari segi kesejahteraan mental and physical semua pejabat staff USM ini terjaga in term of Wanita take part untuk make sure bahawa dan semua PTJ perlu ada ruang untuk penyusuan. And then masa election untuk 2019, Datuk Asma make sure that more than 30% leaders tu mesti dia diwakili oleh wanita. Itu memang di-apply oleh Datuk Asma once she was the VC previously lah, macam tu. Dia memang apply sungguh macam Dr. Sia mention tadi. The top management really focus and emphasis in term of gender punya, orang kata bukanlah kesaksamaan tapi priority tu diberi juga kepada women itu. Jadi perkara-perkara ini kena make sure lah dari segi support system dan juga facilities, and then dari segi top management kena concern keperluan wanita. That's why dia kena ada transit dekat USM tu sendiri, supaya wanita yang bekerja ni dia rasa secure family dia, anak-anak dia, and then dia dapat bekerja dengan tenang. Itu yang kena make sure dulu.
Dan satu lagi kita sekarang ni saya tengok komuniti kita mula cakna tentang wanita ni, kadang-kadang kita ada anak yang OKU, autism, anak-anak yang kurang berkeupayaan ni, kelainan upaya. Jadi kita perlukan berikan sokongan kepada mereka, macam yang Dr. Rahimi cakap tadi, berikan macam transit, ada pusat jagaan dan sebagainya supaya mereka boleh bekerja tanpa gangguan, dan kita berikan inisiatif tambahan supaya mereka tak terasa emosi dengan anak-anak yang kurang berkeupayaan macam ni.
Betul, saya setuju. Dan Dr. Park, is it? Ada highlight dekat chat, perlu wujudkan polisi yang sesuai untuk organisasi atau institusi lah.
Satu lagi kita bina polisi untuk sexual harassment punya polisi di IPT. Kita dah ada. So make sure supaya normally yang top ni biasanya lelaki, kadang-kadang ada isu-isu sexual harassment. Jadi memang kita jaga polisi itu. To make sure that our staff memang dia rasa ada tempat untuk dia luahkan apa yang berlaku. Dia secure untuk dia melaporkan dan sebagainya.
Jadi tunggu sekejap ya. Dari segi yang itu kita masukkan poin bawah apa ideal state ke?
Action lah kot saya rasa. Action dan juga idea. Kita nak supaya ada polisi yang mengawal selia ataupun memastikan kebajikan staff women ini.
Okay. Also put in ideal state, Ellie, the point that there is a need to have a proper policy as well as well-supported facilities for women to actually be happy at workplace.
Prof. Nabila?
Yes.
I think the first column, maybe we have another better way, a good phrase to say. Maybe you should action. The first one is about having a holistic well-being plan to ensure the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social being of the women will flourish and grow lah, something like that.
Yang itu bawa action plan ke?
I think this one is that will be the first part. Then from now you extract from them to talk what is mental, what is emotion, what is physical, what is spirit. This I think maybe you can put that. Under number 2 dulu lah, after you touch up the first column. Tadi dia kata psychosocial and physical. I think this one is dealing with holistic, having a holistic well-being, well-being apa ni well-being apa ni, having a holistic well-being apa ni panggil that policy, okay, policy that look into the good mental health, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social well-being of the leaders to enable them to flourish and grow amidst endure life challenges, something like that. Then from this here, you can point out it will spill over down to the specific strategy related to this well-being policy lah. Kalau boleh.
Nabila.
Yes, Dr. Lim.
Okay, I ada satu suggestion lah. Mungkin is it possible ya jika kita wujudkan satu unit under top management untuk khaskan untuk for the women development, untuk menjaga semua kebajikan welfare, not only for the academician, including the student, especially the women, for the students from the student level.
Tunggu sekejap, Dr. Lim, ulang balik.
Okay, sorry ya. So I mean, mungkin tak kita wujudkan satu unit under the management unit, top management unit, untuk menjaga all the women development, not only for the academician, but also for the student as well.
Okay, it's a woman unit in an organization, but it covers the admin, the academic, and student.
Yes, including the student as well.
So a woman welfare unit.
Yes.
Macam tu.
Betul.
Women development and welfare unit. This one is under ideal. It can be under ideal state as well as action plan, ya.
Ya, sebab tengok masalah macam banyak kalau tak wujud. Yes, I agree. I'm not sure from especially for the woman who have the OKU child, because myself also is OKU as well.
Okay.
So it's very challenging to have the children who are categorized under the disabled.
All right. Ellie, are you okay? Let's allow her some time to like put down what she needs to put down.
Hello, I'm sorry. Can repeat for the unit?
It's actually for the top management, for all institution to have a development and welfare unit for women.
Unit pembangunan wanita dan keluarga, macam kita ada LPPKN tu, pembangunan wanita, keluarga dan masyarakat.
Tapi dia lebih menjurus kepada addressing women's needs lah, wanita. Yang berada di dalam organisasi masing-masing. Kita boleh buat tu sebagai satu polisi yang diperkenalkan oleh mungkin one of the ministries, ya, ataupun both, I mean KPT as well as ministry Kementerian Wanita. So you have put that down. You can have that also under ideal state, ya, Ellie.
I'm sorry, can repeat the last part? It's a bit laggy. Sorry.
Which last part?
The last edition for the ideal state.
Oh, what do you have there? Hold on. Basically to have that unit lah. It's the same thing with the action plan, but that is also an ideal state to have. To have a unit untuk mengadakan satu unit yang menjaga kebajikan dan perkembangan wanita dalam kurungan akademik, pentadbir dan pentadbiran dan pelajar.
It's the same as the first one, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Ideal state is actually in the first column yang having holistic. So number 3 lah dekat situ. My eyes, I tell you, during this COVID, it has gone from bad to worse.
I agree. I have 2 pair of glasses now.
I am meaning wanting to go and see an optometrist. I've not been able to do that. And I dare not also in Selangor, you know, with the number of cases, I don't even dare to go out. Okay. So we're at 11:45. Can we move on to the next? Maybe we, unless somebody else wants to cover any other aspect of kebajikan that we have not looked into. Physical, keluarga, mental. Ada lagi tak benda yang mungkin kita belum, ataupun saya rasa kita dah tengok secara keseluruhan juga dah ni. Jadi kita bergerak ke poin yang seterusnya ya, iaitu libatsama komuniti dan industri. Apakah yang dirasakan sebagai ideal state yang hendak dicapai dari aspek penglibatan wanita di dalam komuniti dan industri? Anyone from industry here? Siapa tadi? There was somebody just now, right? Hello?
Komuniti, Doktor, komuniti dan industri tu maksudnya dari segi dalam dunia akademik dan pentadbiran lah. Macam tu maksudnya.
Saya rasa ada pertembungan juga di antara, sebab kalau nak ikutkan tadi Datuk Zaini highlight when it comes to penglibatan wanita dalam aspek sosial ni, kita lebih sikit, wanita lebih sedikit daripada kaum lelaki. Dia tak semestinya bersifat, rasanya lah dari sudut ini mungkin tak adalah semestinya bersifat akademik, tapi sekira boleh dikawinkan dengan aspek akademik tu pun bagus juga kalau nak diutarakan.
Kalau kita tengok wanita ni dia banyak aktif dalam industri kecil sederhana kat IKS, macam pembuatan keraf tangan, kuih-kuih tempatan, kerepek dan sebagainya. So kita kena kita kata bangunkan lagi sektor-sektor ni, dan bila kita tengok bila wanita yang dia meneraju dan dia akan ambil staff dia pun kebanyakannya wanita, macam ibu tunggal, orang yang kurang kemampuan kan untuk bekerja dengan dia. Tapi kita kurang nampak sebab sektor-sektor ni macam di kampung-kampung kan. Tapi kalau di bandar-bandar besar tu saya tak tahulah, saya tak buat research lah. Maksudnya so bila
Penglibatan maknanya kita hendak meningkatkan penglibatan wanita di dalam sektor industri yang sosial, terutamanya
besar ke?
Macam mana?
Kita nak libatkan wanita dalam sektor industri yang lebih besar.
Lebih besar dan lebih berdaya saing lah kiranya.
Berdaya saing,
Mungkin ada keperluan untuk Training.
Macam ni mungkinlah kan kita ada training daripada MARA.
Okay, jadi di situ apa? Any ideas, people, for Libatsama community here that you guys are probably is a part of, or you would like to see more happening?
I think we are the ladies. I mean, most of us are doing a lot of working with NGOs in terms of libat dalam community.
Okay.
Whether we are rewarding them accordingly, that is a challenge. I think giving them the time off to help in this community service should be encouraged lah. But I don't know how are you going to put that in.
Okay, maksudnya to have designated time and proper acknowledgement and recognition, perhaps.
Yes.
When it comes to
Community services.
women involvement in community services, community and industrial engagement or something.
Because indirectly, hopefully, all this activity will also churn out publication. But of course, we tend to look at the output rather than the process of the staff. You know? So that is the balancing act. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doktor, saya nak tambah sikit. Kalau macam dari segi libat sama komuniti ni, kadang-kadang kita dah libat sama dalam komuniti, tapi kadang-kadang kita tak tahu nak channel kan, nak address masalah ataupun sesuatu problem tu kepada saluran yang mana.
Jadi keadaan semasa sekarang ialah adanya Libatsama tetapi tiada mungkin maklumat atau pengetahuan bagaimana untuk apa? Untuk
mendapatkan apa kita panggil bantuan yang lebih menyeluruh ke?
Lebih kurang gitulah agaknya.
Sebab macam kan kalau politeknik, college community semua, among of dia punya KPI mesti kena buat CSR dan sebagainya. Tapi kita buat tu just untuk KPI. Input-input dari yang kita terima tu kita tak tahu nak salurkan kepada siapa. Macam kerajaan ke ataupun kementerian mana ke, wakil rakyat ke.
You daripada politeknik ke Farhana?
Bukan. Saya student USM lah, PPIP.
Oh, student. Oh, okay. Alright. Ada lagi yang boleh kita majukan? So Libatsama community tadi, action plan dia. Jadi apa yang dicadangkan di sini when it comes to action plan? Adanya mungkin some kind of guideline, to have some kind of guideline in terms of ataupun maklumat bersepadu ke, macam tempat yang mana orang boleh capai untuk katakan untuk di mana nak dapat bantuan dari segi keuangan, dari segi whatever it is, macam tu.
Betul-betul boleh juga.
Nabila.
Yes, betul.
I ada satu cadangan. Mungkinkah tak kita wujudkan satu reward, maksudnya macam anugerah tokoh wanita yang melibat dengan social activities ataupun NGO supaya menggalakkan lebih banyak wanita untuk melibat sama.
Betul, boleh.
Ya.
Anugerah ataupun recognition plus the right reimbursement or something like that lah ya. Okay. Alright. Dr. Raimi ada nak tambah apa-apa?
So far tak ada lah Dr. Nabila. Libatsama komuniti dan industri.
Saya rasa I don't know whether the private institutions are also doing sulam. Dr. Who was it? Dr. Sia, you're from Utah, right?
Yes.
Are you guys into sulam? You know what sulam is, right? I'm sure.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
The service learning. I think KPT.
Community engagement tu kan?
Community engagement.
Yes, we have that. We have community services. Yes, I think we have done it in such a way that it is part of the staff. One of the portion, at least beside their teaching and all these various things. So they are encouraged to take part. So we will keep it in our appraisal, but very minimum percentage now.
But I think what JPT highlighted is that it is actually being embedded, this aspect of community services. Hold on. This community services, it's embedded in the program, in the academic program.
Yes.
So like you
yeah,
go down to the community.
Correct. We have under our soft skills projects and all these things that they are doing the community per se lah. But those are very structured as per syllabus. But sometimes some of these lady lecturers, they go beyond because their interest, not just for the students. You see. So yes, for students it's compulsory that they must do some voluntary service in under their soft skills and living skills. Yes, memang ada. Tapi ini like I say, it's for the lecturers. Some of them they have their own interest in own what you call that, some of their area they would like to continue, which is quite good now.
Because even that kind of situation where they can marry something, you know, when they teach, they can have it more sustainable kind of projects, which is even better.
Yeah, memang ada lah, but sometimes they go beyond whatever just with the class, and they take on themselves to go beyond. That is those people that we hope to continue. Okay lah, memang ada lah. Ada.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Kita boleh adakan community service dalam skala yang besar. Ini pun satu cadangan yang bagus oleh Farhana dalam chat. Maybe one action plan is to actually have something at a larger scale. Boleh cut paste je Ali, I think. Okay, so we have the community Libatsama. Can we move on? This is close to 12. Okay, we have two more. One is Mobiliti dan Kerjasama Antarabangsa. Yang ini memang tadi telah dinyatakan oleh para panel kita bahawa bila dibandingkan dengan kaum lelaki, penglibatan wanita dengan projek-projek atau kerjasama antarabangsa ni ada sedikit kurangnya. Dan juga mobiliti ni. Jadi dari aspek ini apakah yang kita inginkan, the ideal state here? More mobility? Dr. Lim, you want to highlight anything? How to help the women when it comes to...
So far, no, because I try to understand what factors, apa masalah yang menyebabkan ataupun halangan yang menyebabkan keadaan seperti yang dinyatakan oleh panel-panel kita ini tidak berlaku. Tetapi dalam discussion panel tadi, dia tidak beritahu apa faktor. Actually, kita mau cadang, kita kena tahu faktor. Daripada faktor itu kita cari langkah penyelesaian. Sebab kita tidak tahu kena pasti masalah. Itu yang paling kepala.
If I may lah, maybe on a personal side, a personal note, when it comes to mobility, of course, you know.
Yeah, maybe it's the family problem. Maybe it's the family problem, masalah keluarga. Itu yang sangat susah untuk bagi penyelesaian. There's no more perfect solution.
Tapi ada juga kemungkinan bahawa ada dalam kalangan kita, para akademik, dan bila kita nak buat network ni kita tak tahu bagaimana. What is the possibility of that? Dr. Chu, Dr. Sia.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me need to ask the woman.
So,
Dr. Lim is trying to figure us out.
okay, Prof. Nabila, I think for ladies asking them to go international, they also worry that it comes with like family. I think it's a problem. But what kind of support we give them? For example, if they have to leave the country to do some follow-up research, again, the flexibility of the dean, the flexibility of the dean to pass the teaching to somebody else, and the leave availability. So all these are some factors that, the hygiene factors that can facilitate lah. Because now the numbers are small because they are just worried to let go and come back. Else the men, they always know that the family will be taken care. So these are some of the thing that we can make it easier for them, the transition part lah.
Okay, Dr. Nabila, the thing is that one thing I perasan when it comes to all of this international thing is that when you go international, there won't be any issues of whether women are being given the equal rights to attain anything. And in fact, there are many scholarships out there, fellowships out there that also cater for women. So there are women fellowships and all. So I don't think that's the problem. I guess a lot of the problem arises when whether or not we are able or we are willing to let go of our responsibilities here to go abroad. A lot of us are actually with children, or either with elderly as well. So whether or not we can let go of our responsibilities to go abroad and also to flourish abroad, especially for our sabbatical leave and so. It is different in a scenario for men. Terutamanya kalau lelaki, they may just say that okay, you stay, the wife stays at home with the kids and take care and handle the old people, whereas he goes abroad to do his sabbatical. So it's the easier scenario for men. I guess for women, it is quite challenging in terms of that. I guess it's easier for those who are not married, but then again, people who are not married also has old elderly parents to care for. So in this aspect, susah juga kita nak tackle masalah ni. It's whether or not the situation allows the person to actually go abroad, to do things abroad. But in terms of saya rasa kaedah terbaik yang boleh dicadangkan atau diberi is that the top management have to menyenangkan kerja. So meaning that if let's say we want to apply or things like that, they are willing to straight away approve or give any sort of like recommendations or make things easy for those who are willing to go abroad. I guess that's the only thing, because kalau nak buat program ke apa, I don't think that will handle or solve the issues with the family and also the other responsibilities that most women will have to handle in their life.
Okay, it's very much a little bit more intricate here in the sense that because it involves our personal home-based matter and home-based matter, roles and responsibilities. It's not as simple as just leaving things and doing what we want to do.
Yeah, and then you have kids that require your attention and require you to always be there, and you cannot just leave them and just go and do something abroad. Susah juga kan?
Betul. And so we would like, if possible, to have a more flexible approach to allow mobility. Mobility can be in many forms also nowadays, right? I mean, now with this COVID, I notice, you can be a visiting professor. I mean, visiting professor, but not visiting the place. You're there, but you're doing the visiting professor's work, for example, or research together. Meaning to say that the flexibility is dependent on how we, the women, actually negotiate with the partnering university or whatever it is lah, right? In that sense. So ada lagi point lain tak di sini? ke ada isu lain yang kita tak nampak selain daripada personal issue when it comes to kerjasama antarabangsa ni? Mungkin tak ya. Okey, kalau tak ada, kita teruskan kepada literasi. And
Excuse me, sorry.
okay.
Hi, yang mengenai mobility tadi, this is just a question. I'm just genuinely curious.
Wait, I can't see who's talking actually.
It's me. I'm Bella from US. I'm a
Okay.
student.
All right. Yes, Bella.
Okay. Lots of the issues mentioned are about like women with children, women with family, right?
Yep.
So that hinders the mobility. Like my question is, why not these factors that hold them back taken care of? As in, like, if they can't leave their children, so like if they want to like be physically mobile, so let's say, okay, just like permudahkan pemindahan sekolah ke, somewhere else if they cannot leave their kids or family behind. Is my point clear? As in, like, I mean, like, we are focusing a lot on the woman itself, but not the things that hold them back. Because it is understood that lots of the things, those are the things that hold women back.
Yeah, but I don't know. Probably it's not just a matter of. I see your point. Trying to facilitate when it comes to or addressing the things that are actually hampering or hindering them from, pursuing this. When you talk about mobility, as in perhaps in this sense, it's like a sabbatical, etc. Secondment is probably much easier because normally it's longer, but I don't know. Guys, any input on this?
Okay, boleh I mencelah sedikit ya. Okay, based on Bella's punya idea is good. But in the current situation, memang kita tahu kita tak akan pergilah secara physically. Tapi untuk pengetahuan, kalau kita sabbatical, nowadays, kalau USM memang tak ada lagi any allowance. And then if you want to bring along your family, dalam punya statement account, mesti memang dah very stabil, baru you boleh bawa the whole family there. Itu memang the requirement needed from the other countries. That's why yang banyak lecturer tak dapat pergi sabbatical overseas because of this financial issue. They need to jual rumah, jual kereta in order to bring the family there. So the sacrifice is a lot. It's not just bring the children or family there, tapi banyak lagi requirement diperlukan. Saya rasa saya nampak in term of mobility ini is good for the young lecturer ataupun yang dah stabil, yang dah dia punya 50s and above tu. Dia sebab dia dah anak kecil pun dah tak ada. Yang baru ni memang dia tak ada lagi anak kecil. Yang di end tu pun dia tak ada anak kecil. Yang tengah-tengah ni masih nak membesar. As for me lah, the criteria itu sangat penting lah dalam proses mobility. One, they need to they want to sacrifice, they want to go to abroad. The institution mesti facilitate, they support this type of staff yang akan pergi lah. As for me, macam tu lah I nampak.
Saya pun setuju, cuma untuk yang dah stabil ni umur pula, dari segi umur pula dah tak layak. Unless you ada lama lagi lah untuk servis kan.
Yeah, so like if need to wait until stabil kan, macam shouldn't there be like a support to help this, or does it burden?
Probably even if there is, I think I don't know. I'm talking about I'm talking from my point of view and that of the friends that I know of. The reasons why they don't go, because it's not only a matter of shifting and it's not. Like Dr. Rahimi highlighted, there are actually many other things that you need to look into, and that could not happen like an overnight kind of thing. It has to be really planned out, be it financially or to make sure that the family is intact going along. So I think it eventually at the end of the day it becomes something which dia macam apa? Macam banyaknya lah benda nak buat, maybe better off tak payah, that kind of thing, that kind of scenario.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, mungkin kalau ada lagi nanti jika terfikir, kita akan boleh kembali kepada point atau tujahan yang keempat ini. Kita berpindah kepada literasi dan kewarganegaraan digital. Apakah yang kita hendak ideal state when it comes to literacy here and digital. What is kewarganegaraan digital in English? Yeah,
I think it's digital native.
or citizenship native. Digital. I think the point is to be.
How well versed you are with the digital.
Yeah, I think so too. So any what's the wish list like for all of you, women as well as for perhaps Dr. Lim can suggest something which would be ideal for women when it comes to digital literacy as well as other
Honestly,
literacy.
Prof, both of you honestly I don't know. I tak faham actually apa yang dia bawa is a digital kewarganegaraan digital.
Saya pun ada masalah juga Dr. Lim.
I think it seem like celik IT kot.
Mungkin. Adakah maksudnya keadaan semasa ialah kita kaum wanita ni macam dibandingkan dengan kaum lelaki kurang dari segi celik literasi? Mungkin juga ya. This is it's from an academic point of view, susah sikit lah sebab academic we are generally we have to know the digital thing, but is this referring to, I wish there is a,
I don't think dia ada gender difference in term of literacy dan digital ini. Yang different ni I think in term of generation, you are baby boomers ke, you generasi X, Y, Z, alpha, macam tu lah as for me. It's not really about the gender, it's about the generation you are. Macam tu I rasa.
so lebih kepada jurang generasi untuk
Pada saya nampak
merapatkan
macam
lagi.
tu lah. Saya nampak macam tu.
Jadi bolehlah mungkin kita letak di sini kalau nak ideally untuk mengurangkan jurang digital. Dari segi generasi How do we go about doing this?
I think this is about the whole fourth industrial revolution. Maybe they want us to, all the ladies to get more on board with this digitization citizenship. Maybe more training for the ladies, because we have a tendency to think that anything is technology is more related to male, you know. So maybe that could be in future more IT training or for women, maybe to the extent, I think.
But I do know for a fact that, you know, under one of the main findings of Kementerian Wanita, when they wanted to come up with their strategic plan, they noticed that it's not just women but also the elderlies, both gender. There is this digital divide lah,
Yes.
definitely, which requires you know, people to be trained. Even a thing like this COVID My Sejahtera thing, right?
Yes.
You know, wanting to register for the vaccine is also like an issue. So perhaps that is the thing which we want to address, meaning all of us women in particular should be trained or should know more, so that should be digitally enabled, not just for normal communication, but also we go beyond, like as a means of going to digital platform to sell things, to make a living, you know, that kind of thing. So probably that's the main idea there lah, having better percentage of women who can leverage on technology.
I agree because I think the leveraging on the digital knowledge is the key here.
And currently probably there is lack of, I don't know, maybe lack of a platform, lack of, or the women do not know where or how to get additional training. It could be that they are financially, of course, finance is an issue everywhere now. So where can they get probably like free kind of training, if I may say something like that, perhaps, and to have more like penjana, like penjana, or yes,
Maybe we can put like that. Okay, in this term, right, sebab kita mau galakkan lebih banyak IT, lebih banyak young leaders for women telik IT, right? Why not we think for the scholarship? Kita fikirkan daripada segi pemberian scholarship untuk melanjutkan pengajian dalam bidang IT, kita bagi wanita lebih mudah sikit, make it easy to get the scholarship to further their study.
Okay. And also the B40s.
Yes, and also to dalam institut ataupun organisasi kita beri peluang lebih kepada wanita. Do you think can be increase the literacy rate or not?
Peluang yang macam mana, Dr. Lim?
Peluang yang lebih cerah lah. Kalau jika kedua-dua kandidat lelaki dan perempuan mencapai skor yang sama, iaitu 50 markah, wanita diberi keutamaan.
Kita boleh anjurkan, kita boleh cadangkan kebergantungan. But it goes back to who the, who's doing the selection, right?
Yeah, it's very headache for them because selection sometimes is very subjective.
Yeah. And if it's the, I don't know, I cannot say that if it's a male, female will be at a disadvantage, because sometimes some male bosses would rather choose a female and vice versa. So, but we can.
I'm not sure. Yeah. How about because I'm not in the IT field, is it for the women participant in the IT field, is it relatively less than men? Adakah tak perbezaan gender yang sangat nyata dalam bidang IT?
Saya pun tak pasti. I'm actually in the education field, if you ask me. I mean, education as in, I am from the Faculty of Education, and I'm also in charge of training of the academicians in UITM, actually. Anyone in IT or technology based or science based?
I actually teach AI. Artificial intelligence, yeah. So I can see that every semester the number of male students exceed female students. So I think this is also one of the strong statistics point, that shows the literacy of digital among female is probably less.
Meaning
but why so? Maybe because
of selection issue.
Selection issue
it's just
less
probably
interesting.
preference issue. So we're not sure. Is it already instilled in mind, that males are bound to be programmers? and female should
Is it
do other
minat
kind
ke,
of
isu
job,
minat ke, ataupun what problem? Minat ke macam mana? Kalau isu minat, definitely kita sangat susah lah because it's personal issue.
Yes, correct, exactly.
Tapi kalau isu minat, mungkin minat ni boleh dipupuk dari level sekolah lagi.
Yeah, that's why we can see nowadays and schools are also having all these computer courses subjects instilled already, and slowly maybe this will change along the way. But in the recent 3 to 5 years, we can definitely see 80-20 statistics, among the population of students majoring in IT. So this is a obvious data that we can tell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ellie, there's a point by Amizam in chat highlighting promoting awareness on the importance of having digital literacy and skills in this new norm. Maybe this is at what level, yeah, Amizam? Just at all levels? Or we can also have it more structured in school and whatnot.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So apa yang saya nak explain tu sebab tadi ada ideas on apa nak promoting the scholarship whatsoever tu semua tu kan? Okay. So ini based on my experience di saya mengajar di private college, ya, college university. Okay. So saya mengajar subjek komputer lah, under the School of Computer Science. So our problem nowadays adalah kurangnya mereka yang berminat dalam bidang komputer. Especially the girls lah, perempuan lah kan. Yang ramai macam sekarang kita ada degree in software engineering. Ada dalam satu batch tu ada berapa belas pelajar. So dalam ramai-ramai tu seorang je perempuan. Okay, so meaning that macam perempuan ni dia kurang berminat untuk mempelajari program yang bersifat sains dan teknologi lah. Ini in my institution. Mungkin tempat lain tidaklah kot saya rasa.
Sama je tadi siapa Dr. Eng pun ada
Ada
the same thing.
So that's why saya rasa macam pentingnya untuk kita promote the awareness untuk semua perempuan lah kan. Kenapa pentingnya mereka untuk tahu dan mahir dalam dunia IT ni.
Okay.
So we have to start dengan awareness program ke macam tu lah. Okay, maybe start di sekolah memang ada kan, memang ada subjek komputer. Tapi bila kita approach pelajar ni yang ambil subjek komputer di sekolah, bila kita approach mereka untuk further study di dalam bidang IT di IPT, diorang reject, diorang tak interested untuk menyambung di bidang IT tu.
Saya ada satu soalan. Why mereka tak minat dia?
I'm not sure. Mungkin tak tahu lah pendekatan di sekolah saya tak pastilah kan sebab saya tak mengajar di sekolah kan. So tak pasti. Mungkin pendekatan. Dan saya pun tak pasti sama ada pelajar-pelajar yang di sekolah menengah ni diorang pilih sendiri ke ataupun di-assign oleh cikgu ke. Tu tak sure lah.
Selalunya dia kebergantungan kepada result. Selalunya kalau ambil ICT dan sebagai CS ni di peringkat menengah atas kan. Yang saya faham lah, saya perhatikan anak-anak saya dulu. Kebergantungan dia juga kepada result PT3.
So maksudnya di-assign oleh cikgu-cikgu lah tu kan?
To some extent, because in order to do IT, CS, you have to have good foundation in mathematics
and science as well.
Yes.
Boleh saya komen di sini ke tak? I'm not sure whether how valid it is to my comments are valid, but we observe in the School of Biological Sciences for subjects of biology memang ramai sangat perempuan, and for one class it's like 60 people in one class, you can get around less than 10 boys. So this is what we observe. Kemungkinan, is it because that sometimes the male and the female brain functions differently when it comes to interpreting information. So male, they are more they are more towards the all this kind of digital side, whereas the women are not. So susah juga nak cakap sebab some women do very well in terms of IT, and whereas some men do very well in science as well, like biology and all. So saya rasa benda ni it depends on minat, and also it depends on kadang-kadang kita sebagai masa kita kecil, sometimes our parents will instill to us, okay, I want you to be this, and maybe because the aspect of engineering, physics and all is usually towards the guy side, because it's towards the mechanical side, the more civil, the more the technical aspects. So therefore they link it to men, and therefore dari awal mungkin family pun play a role lah in terms of sama ada nak galakkan untuk belajar benda-benda yang more digital side ke, IT side ke. So these are all things that could come in as factors. Tapi saya tak pasti sama ada valid ke tak saya punya information in terms of how the male and also the female brain function differently when it comes to interpreting information like that.
I think there is some logic, if I may say, coming from a science background. To some extent, when you talk about biological sciences, kan, bio is very much language laden. So, research do say that, when it comes to language, I think females do better. Whereas mathematical and whatnot, the likelihood, the tendency would be more, males are probably more slightly better than female. Although, of course, there are individual differences, because there would be some female who excel in math, and the same thing, it's vice versa lah. Tapi memang verbally, language related, it has always, the trend has always been female outrank male in that sense lah.
I rasa pun maybe sebab ni lah, macam IT area ni kan, dia cepat ni tau, dia cepat berkembang.
Betul.
So kan, jadi macam tak semua pun suka nak keep on reading new knowledge kan, nak keeping up with the trend ke semua. So memang betul-betul memerlukan orang yang sangat-sangat strong interest dalam bidang tu. So maybe gender not really playing apa nama ni? Taklah memainkan
personality jugalah agaknya kan.
Yes. Depends on their interest lah, macam tu.
Di sekolah ASK diambil oleh student yang ambil DLP. Oh, DLP maksudnya the ones who do science and mathematics in English, right?
Salah satu benda yang let's say just now we were talking about the what are the cadangan kan untuk improve this. I rasa like what I think is it Lim yang cakap regarding the scholarship kan. I think that maybe kalau let's say ada scholarships for any fellowships or any scholarships on IT or maybe more on the engineering side and things like that. Kalau let's say ada list perempuan yang apply pun kurang, list lelaki yang apply ramai. So if in that circumstances, maybe cadangannya is to maybe samaratakan orang yang berjaya mendapat. So if you have more girls or ladies achieving and also be in the field, it gives a bit of confidence untuk the young girls to also venture into it. So salah satu caranya, contoh let's say ada 10 pelajar yang apply the scholarship untuk 2 tempat. So 8 adalah lelaki, 2 adalah perempuan. So why not choose 1 boy and 1 girl? So at least you open up opportunities for the girls to come in. So itu salah satu benda yang mungkin kita boleh buat lah. Mungkin ada kuota in terms of women punya kuota untuk masuk dalam bidang IT tersebut.
Betul, okay. So yang tadilah yang I think Dr. Lim highlighted that just now. So I agree. probably also one of the reasons why people don't go into, I mean women don't go, girls don't go into IT related because role model tak banyak kot. Dia tak nampak. Actually ramai perempuan yang dalam bidang IT. There's a lot of, you know, like a lot of, I know myself, I have a lot of female programmer friends who are very good with SAP and whatnot. Cuma orang tak nampak because diorang ni selalunya di sebalik tabir. Kan? Dia punya kerja tu tak nampak sangat.
Betul Nabila?
Okey,
Okay,
Dr.
why not kita wujudkan satu anugerah ikonik untuk IT wanita.
Di
Ikonik
peringkat mana
IT.
ni?
Di peringkat di setiap institusi. That mean for the each university and then or national level pun boleh because I look like UM they have the iconic for the research to encourage them to cooperate and then to bring out the whole university and whole research culture. Maybe we can take this approach to boom up the IT women.
IT and I think untuk petang ni kita ada apa tu? Kita akan bincangkan tentang STEM. Mungkin kita boleh sekalikan nanti. That's a good idea there. Thank you Dr. Lim. Okay, ada lagi yang kita nak tambah dari kelima-lima bidang tumpuan ni? Dari segi apa yang kita, you know, the ideal wish lah, in other words. It doesn't matter lah now, I open lah, kot lah ada yang terfikir perlu penambahan dari aspek kepimpinan dan sebagainya. Yang mana mungkin seperti mana yang diterangkan, saya tak ingat oleh siapa tadi, maybe we should address, you know, the one that we can tackle, not so much, you know, the one that, siapa yang highlight tadi? Tunggu sekejap. Trying to look at my point here.
Dr. Nabila, saya ada something that came across my mind lah. I guess if let's say when it comes to women punya responsibilities, women punya voice being heard and all, the first thing that we have to handle or tackle, satu hurdle yang besar is the mentality and the mindset of the people. Sekiranya orang yang bekerja di sekeliling kita selalu menganggap wanita itu function dia tidak setinggi men, then this issue will never be solved. Sebab kita boleh plan whatever we plan here. Let's say kalau orang atasan atau orang sebagai ketua-ketua kita, contohnya tidak memahami dan tidak sort of like implement atau like sort of like absorb this culture of giving peluang kepada wanita, giving the voice to women, then this issue cannot be solved entirely. We can have all sorts of plans, but benda is a culture thing. Sebab saya admit mungkin kita sebagai Malaysian culture, we have kita punya budaya untuk respect each other, and most of the time the male comes in as a bigger function when it comes to making bigger decisions. So I guess that kind of mindset has to change too. Baru then we are able to sort of like slowly take over and also slowly flourish in terms of that. Sebab if let's say we were to, contoh kalau let's say we are working under a big boss yang selalu berpendapat that you busy dengan you punya anak, you busy dengan you punya family, you tak ada masa for this department, or you cannot give all the important decisions on time. So susah. Sebab kalau dari atasan tak diberi peluang untuk kita lead, then there won't be chances of leading. So this is I rasa it's a big problem in Malaysia lah. The culture of how you accept women as leaders, how you accept women to lead. Itu saja. So I can see that very clearly masa Dato' Asma led USM, and it was bila seorang wanita yang lead the university. She focused a lot on mental well-being. She focused a lot on women punya buka peluang untuk women jadi leader and all these things. So when you have a leader from the start that embodies this kind of perception, then therefore things can happen. But if you have a leader, I'm not saying my current leader is like that, but if you have a leader that doesn't embody this kind of concept and this ideology, and therefore until bila pun takkan berubah. So these are all things that mindset has to change first.
But yeah, I very much agree. But how do you suggest that we change that culture, Doctor?
Susah. I tak tahu pun. I mean, men should start accepting lah. But these are things that we can't directly say to them because it will be a controversial thing between gender pula kan. Nanti jadi they will of course sometimes they won't feel comfortable the fact that we are saying that you are not doing your part as a man atau you are not giving shelter to us as women kan. But I think the perception has to change because around me there are still men who still think women are lesser around me, and this is something that has to change.
I can see Dr. Rahimi's suggestion when it comes to addressing this, at least at the organizational level in academic institution. The role of AKEP just now must be further strengthened and highlighting how top management need to address women-related issues in leadership as well as other matters lah. But then again, it all depends on who leads AKEP at the same time.
Prof. Nabila, Sia here. I think I'm glad we have Dr. Lim here. Is he the only male in this room?
Yes.
Okay, I think all of us, the ladies here, like it or not, all of us have a role to play here consciously as we lead in our own little corner in the university where we work, whether among our colleague or even among the students, to encourage this kind of opportunity for women, regardless whatever role they play in the future. So hopefully over time, culture takes a long time to overcome, and all this perception, those are really long processes. But as long as each one of us play our role consciously, and we hope there are many Prof. Asma like in all the university. But for the time being, I think in our own working space, we continue to allow and encourage the women to have a more active role and able to support them and provide whatever mentorship. I think that is one way to move ahead. If not, all these various things, the various action plan, they will say, we can't see you, we can't find them. So I think building blocks come from each one of all of us in the university where we work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sia. Anybody else who would like to perhaps yes, Dr.
Nabila? Okay, just want to ask, okay, for the plan strategy, right? We want to dia ada satu time frame kata, I mean berapa tahun kita perlu capai plan yang apa yang kita ingin capai. Boleh ke saya cadangkan kalau macam itu sebab kita ada 5 objektif kan? It's very impossible untuk kita capai dalam satu masa. So, I fikir kita boleh tetapkan macam itu, jangka pendek, jangka sederhana and jangka panjang. But tapi I tak tahulah jangka pendek how many years we should put, and then jangka sederhana how long we should put, and then jangka panjang berapa panjang punya masa yang kita perlu fikirkan. Sebab kalau 5 I tak fikir dalam setahun kita boleh capai lah. So better kita letak satu jangka masa That means I cadangkan tiga fasa lah, fasa 1, fasa 2 dan fasa 3.
Jadi Dr. Lim, yang you cadangkan ni dari segi action plan dia, betul?
Dibahagikan kepada 3 fasa.
Okay.
Fasa 1 that means jangka pendek, fasa 2 jangka sederhana, fasa 3 that means jangka panjang.
Jadi jangka pendek ni sebaik-baiknya jangka pendek berapa pendek?
Itu yang saya agak headache lah sebab saya fikir sampai sekarang saya pun tak tahu lah macam mana jangka pendek berapa lama, jangka sederhana how long.
Daripada 5 ni yang you nampak lah kan, yang mana yang kita boleh mulakan dahulu?
I think the kepimpinan definitely dia kena jalankan dulu. Sebab kepimpinan bila dia start jalan, bila sudah ada kepimpinan yang tinggi, dia akan bawa kepada empat sub objektif yang dia akan bergerak. So saya fikirlah yang perlu bergerak adalah kepimpinan. That is the most important thing.
Alright.
Tapi saya tak tahu lah yang macam mana yang how about others members lah in dia orang punya pandangan dalam kumpulan kita so berkenaan dengan fasa.
Any input, Dr. Chiu, Dr. Sia, Dr. Rahimi, and others? Saya pun tak berapa nak pasti. Who else? Tadi yang banyak menyumbang kepimpinan from the current women leaders. What do you mean, Dr. Chiu, when you talk about kepimpinan from the current women leaders? What exactly that you would like to see?
Meaning that those who are already on top there, they should be, they are the role models, yes, we see them as role models, but they should sort of like start suggesting like things such as what Dr. Lim has mentioned, change like what Dr. Asma has done, you know, like when you have a pemilihan of pucuk kepimpinan for the schools, there is a quota for women, and then she empowered the Prof. Nuraida's department, which is the Kanita, which is the women's department, where a lot of studies on women has been done. So I think the fact that we have very few women leaders out there, these are the people may play a role in terms of making the decisions on how we pull in other women to come in as leaders.
Maybe we can suggest also like a round table kind of thing, discussion among women leaders on how they would, the kind of role that they can play.
Yeah, that's good. Because what I noticed is that like people who are on top, for example, Dr. Asma and also our this pengarah KPT previously, and then as well as Datuk Rahman, Datuk Rahmah from, if I'm not mistaken, previously she's in UKM. So all of these top leaders there, they are really doing very well, and they really nurture a lot of us. So if they basically can make a bit of changes in terms of the leadership and also the decisions being made up there, then that would basically help a lot.
Yeah. So probably that action plan of having some kind of roundtable discussion by the women leaders on, you know, how they can contribute is one, how they would get the buy-in of the male counterpart would be another, I would say, because they have the voice. And as leaders, I think they are all well acknowledged by their male counterparts at where they are now.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe that would be probably a start also. Apart from having other activities that we have highlighted, maybe that one would be progressively, maybe jangka, sederhana, whichever yang lebih sesuai lah. Siapa lagi yang lain yang saya belum dengar suara mereka? Tunggu jap. Who's Leong ah? Leong? Mazlini saya dah dengar. Park.
That's me.
Do you have anything to say? Any suggestions at all? Anything to add? We welcome.
Okay, just my opinion. If
Where
you're
are you
talking
from?
about, sorry,
Where are you from?
I'm Bella from USM.
Oh, okay, Bella. Oh, okay. No,
Yep.
Bella. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I have very limited experience, and this is just purely my opinion. I think if you're asking which of these 5 to start first,
Mhm.
I would think that the kesihatan mental dan physical,
Okay.
because I think like that's the core. Because if you fix that, that will automatically tune everything else.
All right.
Yeah.
A
So
good
you're
point.
strong. You're strong mentally. So slowly it'll channel everything else. So that affects your attitude, your behavior.
So it can actually be we can actually implement or highlight this. It can go hand in hand with the changes needed in leadership. I mean, but of course that is a different tune and voice. But the one addressing specifically on the mental health and also the physical and stuff like that can also come. Yes, I agree. Can also come in early.
Yeah. So like if you're strong mentally, then maybe you will start to believe. I mean, like for those who never believed that they could pimpin, so if they're better mentally, then they might think that okay, now I think I'm able, kind of thing.
So that just now we suggested like a kind of a platform, isn't it? Like to help address issues perhaps. Yang bersepadu tadi apa ya? Yang Dr. Lim ada suggested just now. Sekejap.
I think Prof Nadila, I think itu berkenaan dengan unit pembangunan dan kebajikan wanita.
Dia adalah
Under kepimpinan. I think we like that we can implement by 3 phases lah, 3 fasa. Fasa 1, fasa 2, fasa 3. Setiap fasa is 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Yang penting punya kita letak di fasa 1. Apabila fasa 1 habis, kita akan pergi fasa 2. It doesn't mean when we go to the fasa 2, kita tak bangunkan fasa 1. Fasa 1 pun kita akan jaga. So fasa 1, 2 dan 3. So fasa 1 kita take 2 objektif. Fasa 2 kita take 2 objektif. Fasa 3 kita take only 1 objektif. So now masa kita I think kita perlu fikir which one should be paling penting punya kita letak di fasa 1.
jadi
Last
fasa
one
1.
kita fasa 3 lah, yang paling kurang punya kita letak di fasa 3. Kita sekarang pendek cakap lah, perlu vote lah, perlu undi mana satu yang paling penting lah.
Saya rasa tadi secara amnya we all to a lot of extent we agree that leadership is an important aspect.
I agree also yang kesihatan pun agree juga sebab if you don't have I think I sarankan dia dimasukkan di fasa 1 juga.
Betul. Saya pun setuju. Yang lain-lain bagaimana? Kita
I setuju kesihatan yang first.
The most immediate is to address the mental health.
Mental health, yes.
And the welfare. And in the process, perhaps we can also look at certain aspect of leadership that can be improved as fasa 1. And then we move on. We still continue, but maybe addressing different things. And I think that one requires a different platform. But your point is taken, Dr. Lim. Yang lain-lain tu sebab ada 5 bidang tujahan di sini. Mungkin, dan kalau tengokkan yang lain ni rasanya in terms of urgency taklah sehebat kesihatan mental, fizikal, keluarga dan kepimpinan. Sebab if we are able to address those two, then I think the rest may fall in place. If I may say lah.
Yes, agreed.
Perhaps that literacy and whatnot may come early as well, because to a lot of extent that helps with addressing some other matters like community engagement lah, and kerjasama antarabangsa tu is something, it's very much dependent on whether people are really motivated to pursue, I would say lah. Jadi kita dah di peringkat mana ni ya? Kita rehat dalam 1 jam ya? Jadi kalau ada apa-apa lagi yang kita nak tambah ataupun sekira tiada, I think what we have is good enough at this point in time. Perhaps if kalau ada anyone, let's go around the table. Ada siapa lagi nak tambah? Sebab kalau tak ada, saya rasa kita boleh tamatkan sesi ini sebenarnya. I would rather have slightly, have a slight we leave a little bit early. Tak adalah early sangat pun, about 10 minutes earlier.
Saya rasa kita dah ada semua dah. In fact, the points are quite good there.
Yeah, I think so too. So kalau
if you don't mind, this is just casual question. Since we have lots of like career women right here, genuine curiosity. Do you guys experience gender discrimination in your career?
It depends on if
like your own experience. I mean, don't have to elaborate too much if it's too personal, but does it affect? Because I mean, I think it might differ people like person to person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd just like to know, like women, out there, like, do you really face gender discrimination at work?
Anyone wants to respond to Bella's question?
Okay, Bella, I start first.
Oh, okay.
Bella, I think this discrimination is all about perception. Okay, whatever happened is everybody is entitled to their perception of who you are. It can be any area, not necessarily it's because of your gender. It could be whether you're able to handle it well. In terms of the challenges, and if they're just going to blame it out because she's a female, she doesn't understand, I think that's when you should voice out, and I think we should always prove our mat that we can handle it. So don't take it as a discouragement. If you're very objective and you know your work, I think another person who will appreciate you will be much more rewarded than that person who is going to discriminate you based on your gender. So I think it's all a perception. Do not be discouraged. We can't change people's perception, but we should be able to know who we are and what are we made of, our substance. All right. So so just be patient. We can't tell you because our generation a little bit older, maybe we can see we are quite subtle. We are not going to fight back. The younger generation will like to ask you straight in your face. And that form of communication can be very different. So I think another way of going about it is look at negotiation of who you are and what you think you can do, rather to do confrontation. Asian culture not ready for confrontation, not like the me movement kind of thing. So again, it's all about perception and how we can conduct ourselves within our comfortable zone. That is my opinion. Okay, thank you.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Anyone else who would like to point out? I think that's a good point.
I would like to pitch in here. My name is Raihan. I'm coming from a university college somewhere from the East Coast. From my own personal experience, it's not much of from the male counterparts, you know. It's more on the female one because I'm an English lecturer, but then I'm servicing under electrical faculty. So most of my male uh, colleagues, they are all more open. They don't feel judgmental about you. They tend to accept whatever that ideas or things that you're going to put in. They become they be more open compared to your female counterpart, where they tend to judge you more. Maybe because they think that you're much younger, so it things like dia tak ada pengalaman sangat. Oh, she doesn't have that much this and that. So if let's say people want to talk about gender inequality, I think it's not much about the gender itself. It's about the person itself. Yeah, it's about the person itself. So whether they want to discriminate you because of your gender, I don't think that's the point. It's about whether who you are, whether you are trying to intimidate them, you know, something like that. So I'm for my end, I don't think I'm facing that kind of gender inequality in sense of gender, but it's more on the personality, the person itself. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents lah. Yeah.
Thank you, Raihan.
Mungkin I boleh tambah sikit kot, Dr. Nabila.
Boleh, silakan.
Okay. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Saya as my personal point of view and based on my personal experience regarding this position elected by universities, and I'm the one elected as HOD in the time of Prof. Asma as a VC. So as for me memang tak ada gender difference, cuma how you bring yourself in this organization, how you communicate, the interpersonal communication, and how you deal with that top management, it make different. As for me, top management, they won't have this stereotype. It depends to you, how you perform yourself, how you present your entity or your PTJ to the top management, it matter. Sometimes dalam keadaan bila you HOD and you deal with the top management, all the men's punya style kan, is different. You kena flexible and adapt with that environment. Normally kalau dalam keadaan biasa, you women dalam certain occasion, majlis tu you are the only woman in that occasion. How you bring yourself in that occasion, it make different. Itu saja as for me, that they can accept you how you are, depends how you behave yourself, how you adapt with the environment. Itu sahaja as for me. Dan non-discrimination lah dalam proses yang berlaku in my PTJ, sebab the teamwork itself, the spirit, teamwork, working together, tak kira you gender apa, you level apa, we work together as a family. It make different. Itulah yang based on my personal point of opinion. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Rahimi. So Bella, I think all answered your curiosity.
Satisfied with that.
All right. Okay, if there's nothing else, we conclude today's session, this morning session, and we will convene again after the next forum, which will start at 2, yeah? So don't forget, we have another date later, but around 3 to 5 o'clock. Okay? All right. Till then, I thank you all for your contribution, and I'll be seeing you again later, inshallah.
Thank you, Ellie, for repertorying.
Yes. Okay, kita boleh leave kan? Nanti later we join balik. Ellie? Oh, Ellie left.